7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All systems go.
You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. I'm glad to be here with you. I'm thankful that you're here with us live on CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio. We're also streaming live at cklu.ca on the internet, along with facebook.com/Sudbury News, youtube.com/Sudbury News. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, all those things for the social medias. Comment mainly. We'll do our best to get your comments up on the screen. Today, won't be able to get a chance to have them read as we usually do, as we have Bob Johnson and Tom Price ready to come on. They've been on, I guess, about 6 or 7 times already in the last 12 months or so. So it seems to be every 2 or 3 weeks they come and give us some updates on what's happening. And they're putting on an event on Thursday, I believe. So it's really great to have them here today, and Thursday being tomorrow. It's great to have them on today to talk about what they're going to be talking about at that event. And if you want to go to it, we'll be looking at a few things that they'll be talking about today and unpacking those, but we won't have enough time, obviously. So it won't take too much of the thunder out of their presentation, I'm sure, tomorrow. We'll kick it off with a little bit of weather, but just to let you know, the show will be found on demand on those 2 platforms, Facebook and YouTube, immediately following the show, along with x.com/Sudbury News and Sudbury.news, which is our news aggregator. Let's just have a little weather update, and then we'll be back with Tom Price and Bob Johnston right after this. And Sudbury weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca, as usual. Currently, it is 0 degrees out there. There's some light snow. Today, we can expect cloudiness, 60% chance of snow, changing to a 60% chance of rain or snow this morning. So it's going to be messy regardless. The wind will be moderate. High of +3 today. And with the wind chill, it's -5 this morning. Tonight, cloudy with 60% chance of rain this evening, 30% chance of flurries before morning. So just very messy, wet, cold, messy. Make sure you got your snow brush and your scraper and all that stuff, winter tires. Tomorrow, cloudy, 30% chance of flurries, and then high of +2. Wind chill -6 in the morning. So much of the same as today we'll have tomorrow. A little bit of your long range. And then Friday, sunny and 1 degree still, saying that. We'll see if it stays the same by the time it comes. Cloudy and +2 on Saturday. 30% chance of showers and a +4 on Sunday. 2 degrees, 1 degree, mostly, mix of sun and cloud on Monday and Tuesday. That's your Sudbury weather, brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with Tom Price, Bob Johnston, right after this. Okay, and welcome back. And I'd like to just welcome everybody who's on this morning, and thank you for being on each and every day. We have a really great group of people that come on each and every day. And then we have people that join us for the first time that aren't even sure what this is. So it's just kind of scrolling along and we pop up and they're like, what is this? We share our views on the news each and every weekday morning here in Sudbury. We're live on the radio, CKLU, and we're also streaming live on the internet. And again, we share our views on the news, and sometimes we have our boots on the ground, as we do with our next guests Bob Johnson, you're always involved with the people that are the most vulnerable here in town, especially downtown, and you've been very vocal and making a few videos lately, interviewing a lot of those that are struggling, whether it be mental health, addiction, homelessness downtown, and you definitely have an opinion about what's happening down there. So first of all, good morning, and what's going on? What's new with you?
Well, good morning, everybody. What's going on with me? I wanted to start by talking about the tent encampment in Sudbury, Ontario. In 2021, Michael Vagdini and myself stated that 2 people have froze to death in Memorial Park in their tents. And that was denied up until a year and a half ago when O'Shell came out and admitted that, yes, there was 2 people who froze in their tents. Then last fall there, we had the fire at Energy Court. And actually, it's funny because 2 weeks ago, I seen the guy who burnt. And my belief is he should have been flown to Toronto from his chest, from his neck down to his waist. Now we have another encampment fire the other day, and 2 rushed to hospital. Okay, why? Propane tank. And what did we get out of the fire marshal on TV? Well, it was either cooking or to stay warm. Well, yeah, that's obvious. That's a good $250,000 a year plus answer. So what are we going to do? Last spring, I took pictures of 20 empty propane tanks up against the back of the warming shelter. And now our population has doubled. And are we looking at 30, 40 tanks this year? We're looking for a massive disaster. And it's going nowhere. And then what we have is Energy Court to the Samaritan Center. That's a heck of a walk at minus anything. You got to walk all the way across town to get your meal, and then you got to come all the way back. So I don't understand where they're thinking, what they're doing. We spend millions of dollars a year. In fact, there's two organizations, I'm not going to state who it is, but they get $1 million each a year. And there's no solutions right now. So I looked into a little bit of Carl Nesbitt School for sale for $2.7 million. Ernie Checkers, that's another school.
In New
And what
Sudbury,
you can do there is you got your gym, you got your kitchen, the classrooms you divide up into rooms, plus you have rooms for teaching. You want to sleep inside, you sleep inside. You want to sleep outside, you sleep outside. But it's one facility, all your services are there, and you're not walking around town. The next thing what I like is I will give the Sudbury Regional Police hats off for taking the addictions out of the homeless. Like I said 2 years ago, that homeless pie, what was a pie, was divided by 4 when COVID came to addictions, mental health, homelessness, and the criminals who were released, okay? So now we're taking the addictions out of that pie. So now it's down to 3. Now we got to work on bringing that down to 2. And then it's going to be homeless and mental health, and then we can move forward because it's easy. But the organizations have to start working on what they're involved in. And the story of your shoes, oh my God, that's going crazy. People love it. People actually really want to see the true stories of on the street. So I brought up another thing. I got a donation from a fine gentleman who really believes in me. And I turned around and I ordered 144 Tomorrow's Hope toques. So I'll be driving around, speaking to these people, giving them a toque, and understanding what their issues are, what they want to see, and where they want to go. Because I'm so tired of Facebook stating, Oh, they don't want help. They don't want help. I've had one person say that they don't want help.
And when you say you're sick of people on Facebook saying they don't want help, so who's saying this type of thing about the people that you're talking to?
I would believe it's couch potatoes. Altogether, I have over 20,000 followers and friends and you name it on Facebook. But the thing is it really bugs me that people can come out of the woodwork and state, oh, this has to be done or that has to be done. One guy, oh, Bob, why didn't you put the homeless guy in your van? Well, because number one, he was right at the warming center. You know what I mean? Like, people don't think that, like, they're just taking it for granted. And I hope that we can all get together and really solve this problem.
Because what it comes down to is there is a problem. And that's, everyone's got an opinion about it. And a lot of us are just from a distance talking about it and having opinions about it. It doesn't take away from the fact that there is a crisis going on in Sudbury and, well, we could say across Canada, across the world, really. But we live in Sudbury, so we want to be able to deal with the crisis in Sudbury. You shared someone who's a local business owner, Connor LaRock. He made a video similar to what you're doing. You went around and you spoke to a few of the people that are, struggling, that are living downtown and without homes. And you shared it with me. I just want to share it with the viewers and the listeners here too, because he's a local business owner, Connor LaRock. He owns Social Rise. It's a marketing company, and so he's not just sitting back and commenting. He's actually getting in there too, which I really appreciated, seeing somebody doing that as well. So I just wanted to share that with our listeners and viewers, and then we'll come right back. Oh, hang on a second. I got the volume off. I'm just going to share that here, Bob, with everyone. I just have to turn the volume back on because I turned it off when I was queuing it up here. Here we go.
What was your name again?
Aaron. Joe. My name is Luke.
What is it going to take to make a difference in these lives?
You're stepping into a mess.
Do you find it's dangerous here at all?
Yeah. Nobody's got nowhere to go anymore.
If someone could help your situation, what would you need? Do you find the city's doing enough for you guys?
Nothing.
Nothing,
Absolutely nothing.
It needs to be open eyes to people, to the public.
Okay. Like, what are they not doing that we need to do?
It doesn't make sense in Sudbury. I don't know, but...
The reality is this. This is somebody's child. Their son or their daughter. They're human beings. Let's drop the politics and let's actually come up with a solution to help these people because that's what they deserve. What was your name again?
Aaron.
Right. So there's Connor LaRock. Appreciate him and what he was doing there. Did you have a chance to talk to him at all, or did you just find his video and share that with me yesterday?
Actually, I had to have people from the community send it to me.
Okay, great. So again, right? It's not just you. It's not just a few people. There are quite a few people that are interested. Everyone's realizing what's going on. We're trying to understand what's happening, and we want to have a solution. And like you said, there's many organizations out there. Some of them getting in excess of $1 million to be able to deal with the problem. And they had a huge conference, 2 years ago now, in Azilda, where they're trying to make an action plan to deal with the crisis, whether it be mental health, homelessness, addiction. And I haven't seen anything but it get worse in a lot of cases. I don't know if it's just me or not. But.
Well, see, that's another thing. What bothers me is downtown's pretty quiet now because they're spread out and they're chased all over. Number one, if they have drugs, they're going to jail, vice versa. You know what I mean? So downtown's getting pretty thinned out. But we have organizations who don't leave downtown Sudbury. So where are we going? All we're doing is we're stuck and spinning our tires. And the organizations downtown are repeating over each other. There's no new ideas. There's no nothing. There's no game plan.
Yeah. And like you said, it changed. So a lot of these organizations, when everyone was concentrated downtown who were struggling with these issues, organizations came around and said, okay, we're gonna form a group and we're just gonna deal with people downtown, and that's what we're gonna get our funding for. And so then they dispersed the people that were struggling to other parts of the city, but these organizations just deal with downtown still. So now they have less people they're dealing with, and then we have the problem that just got moved out to other areas, and there's no solutions for that at the moment.
Exactly. So I'm really hoping that this Tuke idea is going to work. Like my organization, Tomorrow's Hope, there's only me. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm the driver of it. And I can't understand like why these organizations of 20, 30 people can't be on the ball thinking outside the box and moving forward.
Yeah, because I think the solution is bigger than us, and the way that we've been doing things forever is just throw money at something, make an executive director of a not-for-profit and have, a couple employees and then have some volunteers. It's not the way you go about it. This is a huge problem which needs out of the box thinking, like you're saying, and solutions that, that are actually going to do something. And we can't just have people just doing things the way that we used to do, because it's not working. Whatever we've been doing isn't working. We know that. So that's at least a statement that could be true, regardless of what someone says. You're spreading misinformation. Okay, do we have a problem or not? There's a problem. Exactly. Is it getting solved? Well, if it was solved, it wouldn't still be a problem. So we can at least say that, right?
That's cool. Now, you said about throwing out money and spending money, and you know what that brings me to? Here's Tom Price in the arena.
So there's a segue. Money. Tom Price. Good morning, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. I'm here. And it's the miracle of this show every morning, getting off relatively well. The fact that we're on, the fact that we're broadcasting is a miracle, with all of our duct tape technology together, making this thing happen. Volunteer run, volunteer radio station, volunteer host, volunteers trying to make this community better. While we have many, many people paid on the Sunshine list, need to be held a little bit to account, right? At least, there needs to be some accounting for. And I'm not talking about like accounting just financial wise, but just on their actions.
How many times have you ever seen a sunbather actually working?
Never.
Yeah. That tells you a lot about the Sunshine list.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sunday, sunshine. Yeah, exactly. So you sent out, I don't know if it's a press release, but it's basically you sent out a want or need synopsis. Yeah, on the city's wants and the city's needs. And now this is something that's near and dear to me, because I had a stepmom at one point where we got into a bit of a back and forth for wants and needs. And I was maybe 16 years old, 15 years old, and I knew what wants and needs were. And she felt that her wants were needs, and I articulated the fact that I don't think her wants were needs exactly. I said needs are food, shelter, clothing, and maybe a couple other things, water, and she was saying, no, this convertible I'm driving in is a need for me, she said. It's a need for me. And I said, well, what does that even mean? So we got into this whole philosophical discussion about wants and needs. And you've pointed out the cities. What's the difference between a want and what are some of the projects we're doing that are considered, and then what are the ones that are needs? What does the city need? So it's really good to speak in that context, because we see priorities. Usually you have to make sure your needs are taken care of before your wants, because if you don't take care of your needs, those are basic necessities of life, and the wants are after you have your needs taken care of. Am I right on that, or am I off?
Oh, absolutely, in my mind anyway. And but then I watched our Prime Minister the other day after making a speech to university students saying that we'll have to sacrifice some of our wants and address the needs if we're to move forward. He went and squandered a whole lot of our tax dollars on wants, not needs. So when you're getting that message from the Prime Minister that you can do double talk and get away with it, who can have any faith in what is a want or a need?
Correct.
My assessment is quite simple. If we take that away, are you still going to survive? And then it's simply a want. If we take it totally away, if you took her convertible away, what would she do? She'd find a different car, a cheaper car. Okay? So that was definitely, you're correct, that was a want. Now, if you took away her driver's license, that would be a need. And she wouldn't be able to get that back without going through tests and everything else. Okay? So if you make sure the people's needs are taken care of, the wants will come at their discretion, not at the government's discretion.
For sure. Now, my stepmom went on to explain why she said it was a need and not a want. But it ultimately came down to, it was a need for her pride. It was a need for her ego. She needed that to have some kind of class or some kind of standing in the community. As she drove around, she needed people to look at her and go, oh, there's someone of status. So that was her need, which she tried to explain to me without sounding that that's what she was saying. But ultimately, that's what she was saying. It's a need for me, because I need to feel important when I drive around. Right? So you can unpack that conversation a little bit more. But I think that leads into a little bit of maybe where we're at as the city as well, in terms of wants and needs. They might look at these big projects as needs for the city to kind of like, look at us, look at Sudbury. You know, we're up with all these other communities or something. I don't know.
Well, that's what they think they're doing, but that's not what they are doing. All they're saying is, look at us. We're the council that did this. We are the people who did this. Don't look at Sudbury. In fact, we're going to drive everything that's bad and visible out of sight so that you won't see the bad Sudbury. And that's what we're doing with the homeless. We're moving them out of sight. And that's all we're doing. In fact, we don't even try to cure them. We give them safe injection sites. That is safe. Give me a break. Is that somebody's understanding that injecting probably lethal chemicals into your body is safe? And
what they should have done was branded them safer. Safer.
Well, I don't even know whether.
Because the reason why I would say that is because the whole reason they used the word safe injection was because there's tainted street drugs out there. And so they are.
I'm sorry, AJ. They don't test the drugs that the people bring in with them.
They just tell us this. That's what I mean. They tell us that there's dangerous drugs out there and they need to give safer drugs. That's what I'm saying. They should have at least named it for what they were really saying. It's safer then, but it's not safe. You can't say these harmful addictive drugs are safe. It by no means is what your point is, right? So
all they're doing, all those injection sites do is make the injection process safer.
Correct. Safer.
Not what they're injecting. Yeah, not what they're injecting. Yeah. Otherwise, why did we have 59 opioid-related deaths in Sudbury in 2024?
Correct. So it's like... Go ahead.
We had the safe injection site in 2024. We still had 59 opioid deaths in 2024 in Sudbury. And that isn't me.
Go ahead.
That's the Ontario Coroner's Office figures.
So I'd like to even say, you know, how they're saying it's a safe injection site. So all you parents out there who advocate for the safe injection sites, which I know there's many in Sudbury because we're a very socialist community, and we kind of buy into the politics, the mainstream politics that we have in Canada, and we think that harm reduction is the way to go. So if it is so safe and you're a parent and you have, let's say, young teenagers, if it's so safe, would you bring your teenager down there to get a safe injection? Would you do that? It's so safe. There's nothing harmful about it. Bring your family. Why not the whole family go down and show everyone how safe the injections are? You know?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that? Well, you wouldn't do that because it's harmful to your family. That's why you wouldn't do that.
Well, the only thing they're doing is keeping the people alive to use more.
Exactly. It's a racket.
Yes, I agree totally.
People are making money off of it. Who? Not me, not you. We're paying for it, actually. Our tax dollars pay for it, but some people are profiting off of it, which is terrible. To take tax money. What's that?
And those people that are making the money off it, selling those drugs, should be charged with murder or attempted murder at the minimum.
Correct.
Simple. Where's our laws? We don't have them.
Unfortunately, sadly, that's the case these days.
And we're willing to put up with that as a society. It's okay to watch these people stumble around town, stoned on drugs, and that's okay. We'll just drive by. And I saw the ultimate in that a few years back. I was in San Francisco at a convention, and they had tour buses. So on one of our days where we had not much going on, we took one of the tours. And guess what was on the tourism bus? Skid Row. It was a tourist site. They would drive through and you could see all the destitute and all the people on drugs and whatever else, how they lived and everything else. They made it a tourist attraction. How inane and how stupid has our society become?
Well, in that case, it was a tourist attraction because most people never saw that before. So they were like, hey, do you actually want to see it in real life? See people like living on the streets and whatever? Because you only see it in movies or on the news because you're coming from middle America or whatever. And here you go. Here's your chance. But now that wouldn't really be a tourist attraction anymore because every city's got it anyways. Why would they even show this? This is different. It's the same thing you got in your own city now.
I have news for you. Every city had it at that time.
Oh, okay.
It just wasn't visible. Okay? So, it's like here in Sudbury. Oh my God, we're doing such a great job in dealing with this. Well, in 2000, there was an extensive, well done survey of the homeless. Identified 455 homeless in 2000. Last year, the number was 459. That's in spite of 59 dying. So we replaced the 59 that died last year with more. And we've done that every year. We keep replacing those that are dying. What are we doing to stop the replacements? Nothing. We don't even determine what the cause of them being in that condition is. They are there. They are the problem. We'll cure the problem. We'll move them to energy court. The next thing, you'll get a visible barrier erected around energy court so you can't see them and they can't see you. Want to bet on that one?
Oh no, when you said that, I knew for sure because they couldn't put a barrier around where they used to be because that's accessible land. People need to walk through it and get to where they're going downtown. They couldn't do that, but they can do it in energy court for sure.
Yes. So anyhow, just my opinion. But I watch a lot of things every day and not on TV. I watch what goes on in real life.
And how many people were involved in the decision to move those that were struggling into energy court rather than, they used to be in the Memorial Park and, more downtown? And Like, was it a concerted effort? Did all the players, all the stakeholders, anyone who had anything to do with what's going on in the city come together and come to that conclusion that that was the best solution? Like, who ultimately, how many people were involved in that decision of doing that?
Well, obviously, a number of people. I've heard up to 130 different organizations involved. I know that council has to approve anything that the city does, so council obviously knew. But due to our high level of openness and transparency, it isn't quite high enough to allow us that information. Have you heard anything?
No.
Right. And you're in touch, we're in touch. There's nothing out there that says who makes those decisions. But the decisions get made. So who's doing it? Who actually decided to allow safe injection sites? What are their names? Because I'd like to have a discussion with them. There won't be any discussions. They won't allow any discussions. Okay? And it's the same thing on the arena and event center. This past February, we requested audience with the project team to discuss a number of items that we had concerns about. 8 different levels of concerns. Well, there were 7 at that time, but since that time, the need has come up as an 8th concern. Okay? They still will not communicate with us. Why not? What are they afraid of? I mean, we're just common people. We're ordinary people. We're not gun-toting vigilantes. We're normal people. We want answers to why everything's going wrong. And you'll hear a lot more detail on that tomorrow evening if you can make it to the meeting. And anybody who can come, please come, because you're going to hear some shocking stuff.
So where is the meeting going to be? Or how long is it going to be? And what are some of the main topics you're going to be going over?
Okay, the meeting will be at the Grace Family Church at the corner of Jean Street and Burton in the basement. It will take approximately an hour. There are 8 issues, major issues, regarding the event center and the homeless. Okay? And it will take approximately an hour, and then there'll be time afterward for anyone who has questions on what they've been hearing.
Did you invite any?
Sorry?
No, you go ahead first.
It will be videotaped, and if we can, it will get posted on YouTube.
6 o'clock.
It will be at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
The main presentation will run from 6 to 7.
And when you say it will be videoed, will it be live streamed? So can I go on at 6 o'clock and just watch it live on Facebook?
We're trying to get that set up. We have a shortage of that type of technology in our group, okay? But we're trying to have it set up so that we can live stream it, yes. And if it will be live streamed, it will be on Bob Johnson's Facebook.
Okay. So it should be, as long as you have a Facebook page, you just Google how to do a Facebook Live. As long as you have a cell phone, you have the technology, and you have a Facebook page, you should be able to do it no problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody's welcome. There's no admission charge. Everybody's welcome to come and see it and discuss any aspect of it they want. What you're going to see is information that is readily available on the internet by city, by province, by the federal government, and by very professional organizations. We don't make up anything. We take that information and present it.
You have a pretty good outline here of wants and needs and different studies that were done by different organizations. And so there will be a lot of facts, a lot of figures coming out. Did you invite anyone from the city out to this meeting?
We didn't invite anybody specifically.
Okay.
We've invited everybody.
Okay.
And we know that the city monitors what we do surreptitiously, but they do monitor what we do, and so they can have their own answers ready. So yes, they have been invited.
Well, there's some on
It-
right
it-
now. There's some on right now watching us right now as we speak. I know.
Okay, well, it was in the Sudbury Star for 3 days running. Okay, the meeting, and that invited everybody. All
Great.
welcome. We won't even charge them anything. So, will they show up? Well, they never have before. Only once. We had a meeting on the road repaving. 3 counselors showed up, did their due diligence and their due duty, and they got castigized for it. They got charged by through the integrity commissioner. One of them got penalized. One of them wasn't even in the hall at the time that any alleged offenses occurred, and he was charged. And we had to prove he wasn't even in the hall at that time. So
do you think so what happened with that? Why were they charged in that case?
Well, supposedly they disclosed the fact that David Shellstead and Miranda Edwards are living common law. One of the people in the crowd exposed that. So Bill LeDuc just clarified the situation, that there's nothing wrong with that, and he was charged.
That's interesting.
This came out of the public people sitting there, not out of him, not out of Jerry Montpellier, not out of Michael Vagnini, out of a member of the audience.
So is that why counselors won't go to these things? Because if they do say something, then they could be reprimanded or something in another way?
No, they were told that they were not allowed to go to those type of meetings. What type of meetings? All we did is we invited the guy who did the work to explain what he did. And that's all he did. He just explained what he did. And then he explained, and he was very explicit, he explained that the report that got written was wrong, that the person writing the report or people writing the report were not qualified to make the statements that they did. There has since been a third-party independent engineering company review the report and stated the same thing, that the report is meaningless. It does not mean anything. It was set up as a pilot project. It was not run as a pilot project by the city. And believe me, I personally have been involved in a number of pilot projects with the company I worked for 35 years. That project was not run as a pilot project, not even faintly. But however, the contractor did prove his product in doing it. He's not allowed back in the city to do any work. He's had to sue the city to have a judge order the city to allow him to complete his contract. And that's where it sits right now. Now we have a new CAO, we have a new finance officer, we have a new mayor, well, sort of new. What's wrong with them? Why don't they come to the front? That process can save us roughly 60 to 70% of the cost of resurfacing our roads. The region of Durham has just finished a summer of doing very, very many roads using the process. What's wrong with Sudbury? What's wrong with the people? Where's our openness and transparency? It doesn't exist.
True.
Literally, it does not exist.
Now, again, it's to do with the way that our system is set up in terms of construction companies and getting contracts and things. And this looked like a threat to that as far as I could see. And that's why this couldn't be allowed in the city unless they could go pick up one of these machines themselves and then charge the city 3 times what this guy was going to do and just keep the racket going.
Absolutely.
You know? Why not just do that?
Yeah. Well, some of them have tried. What's the concrete company out on Regent? Not
There's
Pioneer. Yeah, Pioneer.
Browns.
No.
Oh.
Out at the West End, across from the Deluxe Drive-In.
There's
Up
Rainbow.
on the hill. Pioneer. Okay, Pioneer.
Okay.
You have a machine. They built a machine themselves or had one built. And they've been using it in some places unsuccessfully. This guy from Southern Ontario is doing it successfully. Why do we reward the unsuccessful? And speaking of that, look at the people we hire. And I don't mean anything personal, but our new CAO got fired from her last job. And then we find out, well, that's excused because that's normal in that profession.
Yep.
Well, then why on earth do we have that profession?
We never know why either. We don't know why they're fired. We're not allowed to know.
No.
No.
But they get to play with our money.
That's right. They're in charge of all of our money. Yeah, so you get someone who's been fired. You don't know why, but yet you hire them to take all your money and deal with it. That's what I think. I think it's because these people are compromised.
Well, her and the mayor have unlimited control of how the money for the event center gets spent. It doesn't even have to go back for council approval.
That's right.
They can spend it however they want.
For sure. You can't have someone honest and with integrity in those, because then all the house of cards would fall if you brought someone in like that. It's like getting a third-party audit, arm's length audit of our city. It would just expose everything for what it is, and you'd have to begin again. And all the people that were having the gravy train for years and years and years, they wouldn't have the gravy anymore. And so they have everything at stake to keep the gravy train going.
Okay.
That's the world we live in. And on that, we got to leave it because we're out of time. But thank you very much, Tom. And thanks, Bob. So tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Grace Family Church, corner of Jean and Burton and Jean, 6 o'clock. It should be live streamed. Hopefully, if you need any help on that, I use a different software to live stream, so I don't go directly on Facebook. But you just look it up on Google, say, how do I live stream on Facebook? It'll show you step by step. Just need a cell phone and a Facebook account. So good luck with the meeting tomorrow. Looking forward to having you guys come back and letting us know how it went.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. And have a great rest of your day on this Hump Day Wednesday, November the 12th. Thanks again, Bob.
Take care, my friend.
And thanks everyone for commenting. So many comments. Hopefully we can go back and look at all the comments after the show. Many great suggestions and shout outs. We just appreciate everyone for being on the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We've been on CKLU 96.7 FM for the last 45 minutes or so with Bob Johnson and Tom Price. They're doing their presentation tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Grace Family Church, corner of Jean and Burton. Be there or be square. And that's all the time we got for the show today. Thanks, everyone. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM. Ciao for now.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.